Genoa City is heading into a volatile breaking point during the week of January 12th through January 16th, and every major family is about to feel the impact. The chaos begins with a high-stakes standoff between the Newmans and the Abbotts. After Matt Clark is captured, Victor Newman is forced into a decision that could reshape the power balance in town. Jack Abbott proposes a bold trade. Matt in exchange for the complete destruction of the AI program that threatens Jabal. On paper, the deal looks clean. In reality, it puts Victor in a dangerous position. Once Matt is on Newman property, the leverage shifts. Victor now controls the most dangerous variable in the equation. He must decide whether to turn Matt over to law enforcement or handle the threat the old-fashioned Newman way. Either choice carries massive consequences. At the same time, the hospital drama surrounding Nick Newman intensifies. After surgery for his fractured leg from the car crash with Matt, Nick suffers an unexpected medical setback. The scare keeps Sharon by his side around the clock. Their shared fear and emotional vulnerability begin pulling them closer than they have been in months, reopening unresolved feelings and unfinished business. Meanwhile, the corporate battlefield heats up fast. Michael and Nikki's secret plan to steal the AI program and frame Kane Ashby is headed toward failure. Their behind-the-scenes maneuvering simply does not go the way they expect. Instead, an entirely different alliance takes control of the board. Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott join forces with one clear objective, bringing Victor Newman down. Together, they successfully obtain the AI software, launching a full-scale corporate war that threatens every major business in Genoa City. Kane Ashby, emotionally wrecked by Lily leaving town, becomes increasingly vulnerable. Phyllis pulls him deeper into her orbit, tempting him to use dangerous schemes as a distraction from his personal heartbreak. Whether Kane resists or fully commits could change everything. But the most chilling storyline of the week belongs to Mariah Copeland. Haunted by the influence of Ian Ward, Mariah continues spiraling into delusion. She becomes convinced she must abandon her family to fulfill what she believes is a new destiny. Her distorted thinking pushes her toward a decision that no one sees coming. In a shocking turn, Mariah kidnaps Dominic Newman Abbott, Winter's chancellor. Early in the week, Devin and Abby enjoy peaceful family moments that feel safe and hopeful. That calm quickly shatters into panic once they realize their son is gone. What follows is every parent's nightmare unfolding in real time. Between ruthless business warfare, dangerous negotiations, emotional medical crisis, and a devastating abduction, Genoa City is about to enter one of its darkest weeks yet. The Young and the Restless. January 12th to 16th, Victor gets Matt Clark plus Phyllis and Billy steal AI program plus Mariah kidnaps Dominic. What happens when three massive storylines collide in one explosive week? And what if I told you that the week of January 12th to 16th is going to deliver game-changing developments that permanently alter the power structure of Genoa City? Because we're not just talking about Victor finally getting his hands on Matt Clark. We're talking about Phyllis and Billy successfully stealing the AI program while Michael and Nikki's plan fails. We're talking about Nick and Sharon being pulled closer together by a medical crisis. And we're talking about Mariah Copeland committing the unthinkable by kidnapping Dominic in a psychotic break that's going to devastate multiple families. When I say this week changes everything, I mean by Friday, nothing is going to be the same. The Newman-Abbott negotiation, Victor's choice. Let's start with a confrontation everyone has been anticipating. Following the capture of Matt Clark, Victor Newman must decide if he will accept Jack's offer to trade the undead villain for the destruction of the AI program threatening Jabal. This is the negotiation that's going to determine the future of the Newman avatar. Jack has leverage. He's holding Matt Clark, the man who terrorized Sharon and attacked Nick. Victor desperately wants Matt, so Jack is offering a trade. Give me the AI program, and I'll give you Matt. From Jack's perspective, this is a brilliant move. Jack is offering Victor something Victor wants more than he wants to destroy Jabal. Jack believes Victor's desire for revenge against Matt will override Victor's desire to continue attacking the Abbott family business. Jack is counting on Victor being rational enough to see that this trade serves both families' interests. But here's where everything changes once the deal is made. Once Matt is on Newman's home turf, the power dynamic shifts completely. Victor has Matt at the Newman ranch. Victor has physical control of the man who hurt his family. And now Victor has to decide whether to turn Matt over to the authorities or take a more traditional Newman approach to protecting his family. What does traditional Newman approach mean? It means Victor handling Matt personally. It means Victor making sure Matt pays for what he did in ways the legal system might not deliver. It means Victor potentially crossing lines that good citizens don't cross. Victor has Matt at his mercy, and the temptation to administer his own brand of justice is going to be overwhelming. This is exactly what Michael and Nikki have been afraid of. This is why they've been conspiring to redirect Victor's rage. Because once Victor has Matt alone, once Victor has the opportunity to do whatever he wants to Matt without witnesses or consequences, Victor might become a murderer. Victor might cross a line that destroys him legally and morally, but Victor is also a smart man who understands consequences. Victor knows that killing Matt would make Victor a murderer. Victor knows it would create legal problems, family problems, moral problems. So Victor is going to be wrestling with competing desires. The desire to make Matt suffer versus the desire to handle this situation in a way that doesn't destroy Victor's own life. The question is, which desire wins? Does Victor's restraint and strategic thinking override his thirst for vengeance? Or does Victor's rage at what Matt did to Sharon and Nick override his better judgment? We're going to find out this week, and the answer is going to have massive implications for Victor's character and for the Newman family's future. Now, let's think about what this means for the AI program. If Victor agrees to destroy it as part of his deal with Jack, Victor is giving up his most powerful weapon against the Abbotts. Victor is surrendering the tool he's been using to attack Jabao and maintain his dominance. That's a significant concession that Victor doesn't make lightly. But if Victor gets Matt in exchange, Victor might consider it a fair trade. Victor gets to protect his family by dealing with Matt. Jack gets to protect his family business by eliminating the AI threat. Both men get what they want most. It's a negotiated peace that serves both families' interests, even if neither Victor nor Jack is completely satisfied. The problem is that Victor might not honor the deal. Once he is Matt, Victor might take Matt and then find reasons why the AI program destruction doesn't need to happen immediately. Victor might argue that the terms of the deal were ambiguous. Victor might simply break his word because Victor doesn't like being forced into concessions. Jack is taking a huge risk by trusting Victor to honor their agreement, and that risk might bite Jack in a way he doesn't anticipate. Nick's medical crisis, pulling closer to Sharon. While Victor is dealing with Matt, Nick is facing his own crisis. After his surgery for a fractured leg following the car crash with Matt, Nick faces a medical setback. We know from other spoilers that this setback happens on January 9th and involves serious complications, possibly a blood clot, infection, or other post-surgical emergency that puts Nick's life in danger. Sharon stays by Nick's side through the scare, and spoilers suggest this will pull the former couple closer together than they've been in months. Think about what this experience means for both of them. Nick is facing his mortality. Nick is experiencing that moment of clarity that comes when you realize life is fragile and precious. And when Nick looks around to see who's there with him, who cares enough to stay through the scary moments, it's Sharon. Sharon has been terrified of losing Nick. Sharon has been blaming herself for Nick getting hurt because Matt was obsessed with her. Sharon has been processing all the feelings she's tried to suppress about Nick. And sitting by Nick's bedside, watching him fight through medical complications, Sharon is confronting the truth that she's still in love with him. This medical crisis is the catalyst that's going to push Nick and Sharon out of their romantic limbo. They've been dancing around each other for so long, more than friends, but not officially together. They've both been scared to fully commit because of their complicated history and all the times they've failed at being a couple. But when you nearly lose someone, all that fear and hesitation suddenly seems pointless. Nick is going to come out of this medical crisis with clarity about what he wants Sharon. No more playing it safe. No more maintaining distance. No more pretending they're just friends. Nick is going to be ready to commit fully to Sharon and their relationship. And Sharon, having experienced the terror of almost losing Nick, is going to be ready to accept that commitment. Sharon is done protecting herself from potential heartbreak. Sharon is done holding back. Sharon wants to be with Nick fully and officially for whatever time they have together. So this medical crisis, as terrible as it is in the moment, is actually going to be the thing that finally brings Nick and Sharon back together. Sometimes it takes a near-death experience to make people stop wasting time and embrace what they really want. The AI program heist when plans fail. Now here's where things get really interesting from a corporate espionage perspective. Michael and Nikki have this secret plot to steal the AI program and frame Kane Ashby. They're planning to redirect Victor's rage away from Matt and toward Kane, preventing Victor from committing murder while still giving Victor an outlet for his anger. But their plan is destined to fail. Despite all their plotting and scheming, despite their good intentions, Michael and Nikki are not going to succeed in stealing the AI program. Something is going to go wrong. Maybe they're discovered before they can execute the plan. Maybe the technology is more complicated than they anticipated. Maybe someone else gets to the program first. And here's the twist. Instead of Michael and Nikki successfully stealing the program, Phyllis and Billy Abbott join forces and succeed where Michael and Nikki fail. A new power duo emerges with a shared goal of taking down Victor. And Phyllis and Billy manage to get their hands on the AI software. This is huge. This means Phyllis and Billy now control Victor's most powerful weapon. They can use it against Victor. They can use it to attack Newman Enterprises. They can use it to take over Victor's company. Setting the stage for a massive corporate war doesn't even begin to describe what's about to happen. Phyllis and Billy having the AI program is like giving nuclear weapons to people who are motivated by revenge rather than strategy. Phyllis and Billy are going to use this tool carefully or responsibly. They're going to use it to hurt Victor in the most devastating ways possible. Think about what this means for Victor. Victor has been using the AI program to attack Jabao to maintain his dominance, to keep his enemies off balance. And now that program is in the hands of two people who hate him and want to destroy him. Victor is about to experience what it feels like to be on the receiving end of the weapon he's been wielding against others. And here's the cruel irony. If Victor had just destroyed the AI program as part of his deal with Jack, this wouldn't be happening. If Victor had surrendered the program in exchange for getting Matt, Phyllis and Billy wouldn't have anything to steal. But Victor's greed, his unwillingness to give up power and control, creates the opportunity for his enemies to take that power from him. Now let's think about how Phyllis and Billy managed to succeed where Michael and Nikki failed. Phyllis is ruthless and brilliant when it comes to scheming. Phyllis doesn't have Michael's ethical concerns or hesitations. Phyllis is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve her goals. And Billy, driven by his hatred of Victor, is the perfect partner for Phyllis's audacious plan. Together, they're going to execute a heist that steals Victor's most valuable asset. And they're going to use that asset to wage war against Victor in ways that threaten not just Newman Enterprises, but Victor's entire empire. Kane's descent, drawn into Phyllis's web. Meanwhile, Kane Ashby is at a crossroads. Depressed over Lily leaving town, Kane finds himself drawn into Phyllis's web, potentially using her schemes as a distraction from his personal life. Kane is vulnerable. Kane is heartbroken. Kane is looking for anything to make the pain stop, or at least to distract himself from it. Phyllis sees Kane's vulnerability and exploits it. Phyllis offers Kane purpose, excitement, a sense of being part of something important. Phyllis tells Kane that joining her crusade against Victor is the perfect way to channel his pain into something productive. And Kane, not thinking clearly because of his emotional state, considers accepting Phyllis's offer. But here's what Kane doesn't understand. Phyllis doesn't care about him. Phyllis is using Kane's pain to recruit an accomplice who will do things Phyllis needs done without asking too many questions. Phyllis is exploiting Kane's vulnerability for her own purposes. And when Phyllis's scheme inevitably falls apart, Kane is going to be one of the casualties. If Kane joins Phyllis's plot, Kane is guaranteeing that Lily never takes him back. Because when Lily finds out that Kane partnered with Phyllis to commit corporate espionage and attack Victor Newman, someone Lily's family has complicated relationships with, Lily is going to see it as proof that Kane hasn't changed, that he's still the same person who makes terrible decisions when he's emotionally compromised. Kane is being given a choice. protect his future by staying away from Phyllis's schemes, or embrace the distraction of revenge and destroy any chance he has of reconciliation with Lily. It's a choice that shouldn't be difficult, but Kane's pain is making it hard for him to see clearly. Mariah's psychotic break, the unthinkable crime. Now let's shift to what's going to be the most devastating storyline of the week. Haunted by the influence of Ian Ward, Mariah Copeland moves down a dark, delusional path. Mariah becomes convinced she must leave her family behind to fulfill a new destiny. Whether Ian is actually present in Genoa City or whether he's a hallucination that Mariah's diseased brain has created, the effect is the same. Mariah is being guided toward actions that are going to destroy her life. Ian's influence, real or imagined, is telling Mariah that she has a special purpose, that Dominic belongs with her, that she needs to protect Dominic from something, that taking Dominic away is the right thing to do, the necessary thing to do. And Mariah, in her psychotic state, believes every word. In a shocking twist, Mariah's internal chaos culminates in her kidnapping Dominic Newman Abbott Winters Chancellor. Let that sink in. Mariah, who carried Dominic as a surrogate for Devin and Abby, is going to take that child and disappear. Mariah is going to commit a felony that could send her to prison for years. Mariah is going to traumatize Devin and Abby in the worst possible way parents can be traumatized. The happy family moments Devin and Abby enjoy early in the week act as the calm before the storm, ending in total panic once they realize their son has been snatched. Think about how cruel that narrative structure is. Devin and Abby are going to be enjoying normal, happy moments with Dominic, playing with him, laughing with him, appreciating their family, and then suddenly, without warning, Dominic is gone. The terror Devin and Abby are going to experience is unimaginable. They're going to wake up or come home or turn around for 1 second and Dominic won't be there. They're going to search frantically, call his name, check every room, and slowly realize that someone has taken their child. And the questions that are going to torment them. Where is he? Is he safe? Who took him? Will we ever see him again? Those questions are going to be absolutely devastating. Initially, Devin and Abby probably won't suspect Mariah. They'll think it's a stranger, a kidnapping for ransom, maybe someone targeting the Newman or Winters families. It won't occur to them that Mariah, their friend, Dominic's biological carrier, someone they trusted, would be capable of taking their child. But eventually, the evidence is going to point to Mariah. Maybe there's security footage. Maybe Mariah is seen with Dominic. Maybe Mariah does something that reveals she's the kidnapper. And when Devin and Abby realize the truth, when they understand that Mariah betrayed them in this horrific way, the emotional damage is going to be catastrophic. This isn't just about fear for Dominic's safety, though that's obviously the primary concern. This is also about the betrayal of trust. Devin and Abby trusted Mariah with the most intimate role possible, carrying their child. They believed Mariah when she said she understood the boundaries, that she wouldn't develop inappropriate attachment. They thought Mariah was getting help for her mental health issues. And now they're discovering that all of that trust was misplaced, that Mariah is dangerously mentally ill, and that their son is in the hands of someone who is not thinking rationally. The ripple affects multiple families in crisis. Let's think about how Mariah's kidnapping of Dominic affects everyone connected to this situation. Tessa is going to be devastated. Tessa is Mariah's wife. Tessa has been trying to support Mariah through mental health struggles. Tessa has been exploring a relationship with Daniel while also feeling guilty about her feelings because she's still married to Mariah. And now Tessa is going to find out that Mariah has committed a serious crime that's going to send her to prison or a psychiatric facility. Tessa is going to have to decide. Does she stand by Mariah during legal proceedings and potential incarceration? Or does Tessa cut her losses, file for divorce, and move forward with Daniel without looking back? There's no good answer. Every choice Tessa makes is going to feel like a betrayal of either Mariah or herself. Sharon is going to be destroyed. Sharon is Mariah's mother. Sharon has been dealing with her own trauma from Matt Clark while also trying to be there for Nick during his medical crisis. And now Sharon is going to get hit with the news that her daughter has kidnapped a child. Sharon is going to blame herself. Should Sharon have seen the signs? Should Sharon have done more to get Mariah help? Could Sharon have prevented this? Sharon is going to fight for Mariah to receive mental health treatment rather than prison time. Sharon is going to advocate for understanding and compassion. But Sharon is also going to have to acknowledge the reality of what Mariah did and the harm Mariah caused. Noah is going to be caught in an impossible position. Noah is Mariah's half-brother there. Noah is also friends with Abby and connected to the Newman family. So Noah is going to be torn between family loyalty to Mariah and sympathy for what Devin and Abby are going through. Noah is going to have to figure out how to maintain relationships with people on both sides of this tragedy. Daniel is going to be affected because of his growing relationship with Tessa. Daniel is going to watch the woman he has feelings for go through this crisis. Daniel is going to have to decide whether he wants to be with Tessa given all the complications that come with Mariah's situation. Daniel is going to have to figure out whether he can handle the baggage that comes with loving someone whose spouse committed such a terrible crime. And what about Ian Ward? If Ian is actually in Genoa City, if he's been actively manipulating Mariah, then Ian is partially responsible for this kidnapping. Ian pushed Mariah to do this. Ian guided Mariah down this path. And if Ian is discovered and his role is revealed, Ian could face serious criminal charges as an accessory to kidnapping or as someone who exploited a mentally ill person. Looking forward, the week that changes everything. By the end of this week, the landscape of Genoa City is going to be completely different. Victor is going to have Matt Clark at his mercy, and whatever Victor decides to do with Matt is going to define Victor's character moving forward. Jack is either going to have successfully neutralized the AI threat or discover that Victor betrayed their deal. Nick and Sharon are going to be closer than they've been in months, possibly officially back together, or at least heading definitively in that direction. Phyllis and Billy are going to have the AI program and the ability to wage war against Victor. Michael and Nikki's plan will have failed, potentially exposing them to consequences from Victor when he discovers what they were trying to do. Kane is going to have made a choice about whether to join Phyllis's schemes or protect his future. And most devastatingly, Mariah is going to have committed a crime that destroys multiple families and potentially sends her to prison for years. This is the week when everyone's plans either succeed or fail spectacularly. This is the week when medical crises create clarity and romantic reconnections. This is the week when corporate espionage shifts the balance of power. And this is the week when mental illness leads to tragedy that nobody saw coming. So, here's what we need to be watching for as this week unfolds. What does Victor do with Matt once he has him? Does Victor honor his deal with Jack? Do Nick and Sharon officially reunite? How do Phyllis and Billy manage to steal the AI program? Does Kane join their scheme? How long before Devin and Abby realize Dominic is missing? And how long before they discover Mariah is the one who took him? What do you think Victor should do with Matt? Turn him over to authorities or handle it the Newman way? Do you believe Kane should join Phyllis's revenge scheme? Or is he about to make the worst mistake of his life? And can you have any sympathy for Mariah given how mentally ill she is? Or does kidnapping a child cross a line where mental illness stops being an excuse? Drop your predictions in the comments because this week is going to be absolutely explosive with storylines that permanently change multiple families. If you want updates on Victor's decision about Matt, the success of Phyllis and Billy's heist, Nick and Sharon's reunion, and the search for Dominic, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested in deep dives on any of these storylines or analysis of how mental illness intersects with criminal behavior, check out the video popping up on your screen right now. The week of January 12th to 16th is when everything changes in Genoa City, and you won't want to miss a single moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.